If I told you to think about the Great SpongeBob SquarePants episode, most of you are probably thinking about episodes like Pizza Delivery, Band Geeks, Chocolate with Nuts, and the camping episode. These are some of the most iconic and most beloved episodes of the show, and for good reason. Many agree that the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are the golden era, with a decline in quality throughout seasons 4 to 5, and then the dark era of seasons 6 to 8. There were some highlights in the second half of season 9, often referred to as season 9B, but even though we were out of the dark era, seasons 9 to 12 could not rival the Hillenburg golden era. But I believe there is one episode that stands out in the latest seasons, and this episode might, in my opinion, be considered a masterpiece. And no, it is not Ink Lemonade. One of my favorite season 1 episodes is Sleepy Time. It is not one of the most hilarious episodes of season 1, but it has one of the most unique stories the show has ever seen. In this episode, SpongeBob traveled into his friend's dreams with a basic story progression that really worked. The show didn't really try to do another episode involving dreams until 2 decades later, with the season 12 episode, Dream Hoppers. I'm gonna get this out of the way. Yes, the episode reuses elements from an earlier episode in a new episode with a similar plot. But this is nothing new to the show, and I'd much rather see them visit and pay homage to classic episodes than to rip off imitation crabs for the 54th time and have Plankton disguise himself as the French narrator's wife to try to steal the Krabby Patty formula. It is not bad to reuse things in new episodes if you have new, creative ways to tell the story from, and I would argue that Dream Hoppers uses some of these elements even better than Sleepy Time, and I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, Dream Hopper's story progression is way more natural and focused than Sleepy Time. We visit 3 different dreams here, the ones for every house owner on Conch Street. That being SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward. But the big difference is whereas in Sleepy Time, SpongeBob hopped into a dream, then hopped out and said something like,
I wonder what Patrick's dreaming.
In Dream Hoppers, it starts with SpongeBob's dream of making Krabby Patties, going into an airplane that drives into Patrick's dream, as SpongeBob chases a living Krabby Patty. Then after some fun escapades in Patrick's dream, they fall into Squidward's dream, where this awesome dream museum scene takes place, with King Squidward and his art guards. This story is so natural and flows so well, whereas Sleepy Time feels more like a clip show of shorts from different characters' dreams. Now for the thing that Sleepy Time is better than Dream Hoppers at. Dream Hoppers is not funny. There are very few jokes, and comparing the two comedy-wise, they are not in the same league. This is a reoccurring thing, as modern SpongeBob rarely is very funny, but there is also another explanation for Dream Hoppers. There is no dialogue in the episode, except for the beginning, where SpongeBob comes home from the previous episode. Across the concessionaires? I'm not sure how do you pronounce that word, but that was an alright episode, and I really like how they tied this pairing together, with one taking place right after the other. But since Dream Hoppers doesn't have dialogue, instead the whole episode has music playing, and this is awesome. The music adds so much to this episode's vibe, and makes it even better experience to watch. This episode is one of those, not really shorts, but still shorter than 11 minutes. And let me tell you, this episode really flies by. The episode takes inspiration from old Disney cartoons, and it shows since the episode looks so beautiful. So for this end segment, I like to discuss each character and talk about what I enjoyed from them, and if there's anything I disliked from them in this particular episode. I'm gonna start with SpongeBob, who is our protagonist this episode. The crazy thing, since this is post-movie SpongeBob, he is not annoying at all. Like, not once does he do anything irritating. And I'm not saying that SpongeBob in the later seasons is always annoying, but like, come on. You all know SpongeBob can be really irritating in many episodes. To see him in the beginning cooking Krabby Patties and being so happy, it's really heartwarming, and it kinda makes me feel like I'm watching Help Wanted again. The next character is the Krabby Patty. I would actually love to see him return in some way, because his and SpongeBob's, Tom and Jerry, cat and mouse scenario was so enjoyable to watch. It is kinda unclear what the patty actually wants, like what's its goal, except to not hop out of the plane and probably be eaten, which is kinda a reasonable goal, if you ask me. And I have no problem with him fighting against SpongeBob in this episode. In fact, the episode was written so cleverly that I wasn't really even rooting for any of them, more than the other. Because the chase scene took them through such interesting settings, I was cool with whoever winning. That is not the case in episodes like The Grill is Gone, where I hated the kids so much I wanted the car to explode during every second of the race. Squidward was really cool in this episode, since his art museum dream setting was so unique and interesting. Him as a king in his own dream makes so much sense, and his art being the face of everyone in the museum was also perfect. I was kinda hoping we would get like a bold and brash guard in there, but yeah, you can always dream. Patrick was pretty natural in this episode, and was mostly just along for the ride. He did bite the ice cream, so they fell out of his dream into Squidward's dream, but I can't be mad about that since that just made the story even better. I don't have any problems with the characterization in Dream Hoppers, which is unusual for me, since I am very critical of these latest seasons of the show. Because, yeah, I don't enjoy season 11 and 12, and not really season 10 either. But this is just further proof of how much I enjoyed this episode. It is a perfect SpongeBob episode, and I would even go as far as call it a masterpiece in the visual aspect of the show. Yeah, I say in the visual aspect because of the lack of comedy. But I'm telling you, if this episode had some, like, season 1 to 3 Hillenberg writing in the jokes department, it could easily go head to head with most pre-movie episodes.